immerse yourself into the world of Creepy Man. He's waiting for you.
In the attic of a remote convent in Iowa, the walls wept blood. They strapped her down with leather belts, not to stop her from escaping, but from floating. A woman screamed in voices not her own, Latin, German,
Why did you hurt them?
growls that didn't belong to this earth. Her eyes rolled white. She vomited blood. Flies crawled from her mouth. She hissed at crucifixes and spat holy water like acid. This isn't fiction. This is the true story of Emma Schmidt, the girl the Vatican tried to erase. And it lasted 23 straight days. This is the most terrifying exorcism in American history. Tonight, we open the sealed records and step into hell itself. Emma Schmidt was born in Marathon, Wisconsin, a small-town Catholic girl, obedient and kind. But by age 14, things began to twist. She recoiled from holy water. She couldn't step inside a church. She'd shriek if a priest came close. She smashed a crucifix in half with her bare hands. Her voice would change in her sleep. And one morning, her family found the kitchen smeared with raw meat. There were no animals, no footsteps, just blood. The priest called it hysteria. But when she walked into church and the statue of Mary shattered, they called someone else, Father Theophilus Riesinger, a seasoned exorcist feared by demons and respected by the church. He attempted an exorcism on Emma. During the rite, Emma convulsed violently, her eyes turning pitch black as she shrieked in perfect Latin,
Nostra est, miseru administri, nunquam libera erit.
But after days of torment, the entity seemed to break. Emma collapsed, silent, still. Father Theophilus believed he had won. Emma disappeared from all records after that. Gone, forgotten, until 16 years later, the church summoned him again. Emma was alive, now 30 years old, and the possession had returned. Worse, stronger, and this time, it remembered him. August 18th, 1928, Erling, Iowa. A convent attic was sealed, windows boarded, walls salted. Buckets of holy water lined the room. In the center, an iron bed, and strapped to it, Emma. Father Theophilus Riesinger arrived with his Bible and trembling hands. Emma's head turned to him before he spoke. Her eyes weren't hers.
Welcome back, priest. We remember you.
She hadn't seen him in 16 years. As Father Theophilus began to pray, Emma's body arched, a full foot off the bed. Her mouth opened wide, and she began howling in multiple voices.
Your soul is mine forever, as I will.
Then the room stank, like sulfur and rotting flesh. Crosses began to bleed. One nun collapsed from fear. Emma laughed. She will not rise again. By day 4, her body contorted, bones cracking, limbs twisting, her face distorted. Her tongue grew long and black. She vomited foul-smelling substances, once a bird's head, another time dozens of live insects. A nun said she saw Emma crawl up the wall backwards, hanging like a spider. They tried to restrain her, but the ropes burned through, not broke. Burned. Emma began speaking secrets, personal sins, hidden affairs. The priests paled. She hissed,
Father Theophilus, shall I tell them what you did with Sister Claire in 1919?
Father Theophilus froze. The demon knew something no one else did, something about his own past. He turned pale, then knelt and prayed harder than he ever had. The crucifix above Emma began to weep. Thick red drops. Not paint. The room began to stink of decay. A nun fainted when Emma looked at her, laughed and said,
She's next. I like the smell of her fear.
Emma stopped eating. Yet she remained strong. Too strong. The rite went for 23 days. By day 23rd, Father Theophilus had lost 20 pounds. The nuns were emotionally shattered. No sleep. Constant screams. The bishop ordered a halt, but the priest refused. He said, if we stop now, we lose her, and they win. So he began the final rite, the most dangerous one, the ritual of expulsion. He brought a relic, a sliver of the true cross. Emma screamed the moment it entered. Father placed the cross on her chest. He shouted, "Begone, Satan! Leave this servant of God!" Emma convulsed. Blood poured from her nose and ears. The ceiling above them cracked. The room thundered. Lights burst. Emma shrieked a voice, soft weeping. "Please, make them stop." It was Emma's real voice. The first time in 23 days, Father raised the crucifix. "I command you, by the blood of Christ, leave her." The light in the attic flickered violently. A blast of wind blew out every candle. Then, silence. A final, unearthly howl tore through the room as if 1,000 souls screamed from hell itself. Emma collapsed. The smell of rotting meat and sulfur faded. The exorcism was over. Emma slept for 2 days. When she woke, she cried, "They're gone." Then she whispered, "But I can still hear them." She moved to a private care home after that, lived quietly, never married. The church never spoke of her again. After the exorcism, Father Theophilus was never the same. He said he felt watched, even in sleep. One cold autumn morning, Theophilus walked into St. Mary's Church alone. The place was still. Dust floated in shafts of stained glass light. As he stepped toward the altar, a low creaking echoed behind him. Every crucifix in the church, one by one, turned upside down. The stained glass windows darkened, candles extinguished. The air turned ice cold. He clutched his rosary, heart pounding. Then came the whisper.
You took her from us, so we took you instead.
He spun around. Theophilus screamed, but he couldn't move. His body went stiff. Limbs jerked like a marionette. Blood dripped from his eyes. His heart began to beat faster, too fast, and then stopped. When the bishop found him, the chapel was ice cold. The crucifixes were all inverted. They labeled his death as cardiac arrest, a clean explanation for something far from natural. The church boarded up the chapel, claiming it was under renovation. But the workers didn't stay long. Within a week, they all walked off the job, terrified. They said a woman in white stood at the altar every morning, smiling, waiting. If you're still watching, you're braver than most. Subscribe for more true exorcism cases, chilling lore, and horrors the church doesn't want you to know. Like if this gave you chills, the next story might just follow you into your dreams. Turn on the bell before it rings on its own.